That comes acted in the city's sewer system, and after a state of emergency had been declared by Wayne County Executive Warren Evans for the town of Flat Rock to cope with a mysterious chemical spill in the city's sewers. Governor Whitmer says they are working closely with local officials and emergency crews to investigate the source of the fumes and in the area. GM is idling a number of plants that make some of the company's most important products. Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert says it's due to the ongoing shortage of computer chips.
Plants in Missouri, Michigan, Indiana, Texas, and Mexico among the 8 facilities impacted. Now, in the case of big pickups, GM will focus on finishing vehicles that have been partially built. GM also idling production of mid-sized pickups and mid-sized utilities.
The chip crisis has depleted inventories at most manufacturers, meaning a significant decline in vehicle sales in August. A 27-year-old Battle Creek man took his own life after he attempted to break into a home and police chased him on foot. The officer told Cameron Brown to put his hands up, and Brown refused. The officer had his gun out but holstered it as he told Brown he was going to try to help him. The officer grabbed Brown's arm when Brown grabbed a gun from his pocket. The police officer pulled his gun and radioed Brown was armed when Brown shot himself, and the officer fired one shot. A preliminary autopsy showed Brown died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He was also shot in the leg. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It is 9:10. I'm Mike.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Patchy fog possible in spots early today. Otherwise, partly sunny. Highs will top out near 78 degrees. Winds southeast around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and light winds. Lows drop to 58. Saturday, partial sunshine is possible at times. Highs head back to 78. Winds south-southwest 5 to 15. Higher gusts possible. Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Chance for showers developing. Lows fall back to 60. And then Sunday, sunshine develops and highs approach 81. I'm Phil Jensko with the Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 56.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online. WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call at 989-295-7713. More on Pinnacle Realty later on. Open phones today from now right up through 11 o'clock, whatever you'd like to chat about. There are a number of topics out there. But in the news, you have heard, and I was going to read it anyway, about a scam where a person in Saginaw Township was scammed out of some money, and quick thinking by not only the family, but by the police department got the money back. And our first caller this morning, Alice in Saginaw, says she has a solution for phone scams. Alice, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thank you for answering.
Sure.
I was hearing the same news report that you're talking about, and it amazes me that people still keep answering unidentified numbers. But my solution is, on my answering machine, I have a message that says, I do not answer unidentified numbers. Please leave a message and your name, and I'll get back. I never answer a number if it's not identified. That way, they can't try to talk me into something because they haven't got me on the phone. All the people that I know that call me on a regular basis are in my phone list, and when they call, their name comes up on my phone.
Yep.
And if it comes up unidentified or unknown or no name or anything like that, I don't answer it. I let it go to my answering machine that tells them to leave a message and a name.
Yep, and they don't.
And they don't. That's right. And they don't. And if they do, I can decide whether I want to answer that.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, that's a good idea. Not everybody has ID, but it is a good idea not to answer those calls. Now, I have to tell you, we have the ID system on our phones too. And sometimes I answer them just to waste their time.
Right. Well, a lot of the people I know have the ID on their phone, but they still answer the phone. They're conditioned from the old days to do that.
Yeah. Well, then that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, that'll be a solution for a lot of people.
All right. Good enough. Alice, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You bet. Bye-bye. Let me see. My computer has decided to play games with me here. I want to see if I can find that Saginaw Township press release. I know I printed it out, so I will find it. Hang on a minute here. Just a minute here, folks. It's something to pay attention to, and you've heard it during the news. They've been talking about it during the news quite a bit. What happened was someone impersonating this woman's daughter called, told her she was arrested because of a traffic accident, and that usually leads to, send money. And then apparently there was a follow-up call from a lawyer, or someone claiming to be a lawyer, saying that she should put money in an envelope and UPS it to this address in the Bronx. Now, right away, that should be a big flag. Big flag. But, you find yourself in that position, you don't know how you react. Someone claiming to be your daughter and they're in trouble, and you figure you got to help, do what you have to do to get the situation resolved. The family called the police when they found out about it, and fortunately, the Saginaw Township Police Department was smart enough to call UPS and try and stop the shipment, and they did. The Township Police Department got a hold of UPS on McCarty and asked them to hold that package, and they went and got it. And fortunately, in this case, the woman got her money back. But it is a lesson. I don't know whatever happened to the do not call list. I can tell you what happened. These people don't follow the do not call list. They're scammers. They don't care what the law says. They're going to do what they want to do. And Alice is absolutely right. If you have caller ID and you don't recognize the number, don't answer it. Now, as I told Alice, I do sometimes for the fun of it, just to waste their time. A lot of them now are recorded messages. You answer the phone and it's, attention, we've noticed this on your account, and it's all bogus. It's all bogus. Or you get the call from a foreign country. You can tell that by the people calling, telling you all about your Medicare. They know all about you. All they're doing is selling a different kind of Medicare policy, but they don't come in honestly, and it's become more and more prevalent. And, phone companies are working to try and set up systems that prevent spoofing and phishing. You'll see something come in. I had one come in yesterday with a phone number and a name, and it looks legitimate. But you answer and it's not. They spoof the number. So is there a good answer? Well, the only answer is no answer, I guess. Alice is probably right. Just don't bother to answer the phone. And just let it go. And if they have a legitimate message, they'll leave it. But you can bet that isn't going to happen 99.999% of the time. So just beware. And particularly if you have elderly loved ones who are more susceptible, they are the target of scammers for the most part, for a couple of reasons. One, they're a little more gullible. And two, the older population's got the money. That's why they go after them. So just beware of what's happening today in this world. Scammers are out there in force. Whether it's phone scams, email scams, social media scams, you name it. There are people out there that somehow believe what you have belongs to them, and they want it. And they are willing to steal it in any way they can. So just beware. Maybe it's in the same way that your mom and dad sat down with you as a youngster and explained the birds and the bees and the right and wrong and all of that. Maybe it's time you, as the son or daughter, sit down with mom and dad and explain some of the facts of modern technological life. Might pay off in the end. And also, be cognizant of what your elder parents are doing so that they don't get scammed. Anyhow, we'll move on. We have lots of topics to talk about today. And again, whatever's on your mind, too. Our numbers, 752-6111 from Saginaw and Bay City. Elsewhere in the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. If you are outside the state of Michigan, call 989-752-6111. Most companies, they don't charge you roaming and long distance anymore, so it's a free call. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll return with more on the Art Lewis Show.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
We learned about August hiring at the bottom of the hour. That's when the Labor Department reports on non-farm payrolls. Economists believe that 728,000 workers got jobs. That would be hiring total of 943,000. This will be a test of how the Delta COVID variant affected the job market. Meanwhile, economists believe that the unemployment rate fell to 5.2% last month. The heads of two of the most popular dating apps are creating funds to help their Texas workers cope with the state's new abortion law. The law bans abortions after there's a fetal heartbeat after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. Match and Bumble will provide money to help employees get abortions out of state. Both those companies are based in Texas. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Roger Stern, invested in you.
This year, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is honoring heroes with 200 mortgage-free homes. A never-forget walk, more than 500 miles through 6 states in 42 days, culminating at Ground Zero on 9/11. Tower of Light tributes to 9/11 illness are being read on September 12th, and names of all lost in the War on Terror are being read on Veterans Day. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
J&B Boots, located in Saginaw, is Michigan's home for American-made boots. With the largest selection in Michigan for work, hunting, western, and more. Visit him on Gratiot and Saginaw. Now offering clothing for men, women, and including FR. J&B has your boots.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose. It uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Oh, it's the Friday Five. We're going to be saying goodbye to summer. Songs with tan lines in the title.
Dance Nanny.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning, and Ed is in Harrison. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
Yesterday in one of your newscasts, you had about Representative Kilday going to introduce a bill that for auto workers who bought an electric car would get a certain amount. I forget the amount anymore now. And if the electric car was union built, it would get you more money for a tax credit. My opinion on that is I agree with neither one should be getting a credit, because if a vehicle can't sell without a tax credit, they're never going to make it.
Yeah, well, you know what the tax credit's all about. It's to really push EVs on it. The tax credit, there has been a tax credit on EVs for quite some time.
I know.
And you know, they want us to move toward electric vehicles, so they figure that's the way to do it. I have a whole different reason for objecting to it, though. This goes back a number of years, many years ago. We had a caller on the program was complaining about the fact that students of people employed at Saginaw Valley State University, that children of people employed there, got a break on their tuition. And I asked this person, well, what do you do for a living? Well, he worked for the auto industry as a UAW member. To which I said, then why in the heck should you get a discount on a car that you're paid to build when I can't get that discount?
Right.
And, you know, oh, well, that's different. No, it's not different at all. That's always bugged me that, you know, when you see, for example, car dealers advertising on television, what they're advertising is, you know, if you qualify for the employee discount, family discount. Well, guess what? A lot of us don't. And, you know, we have to pay the freight so they can get a discount on the car they're already paid to build. And it's always bugged me. And this is in that same vein, you know, and the fact that he would specify, well, if it's union, it's different. You know, they're already paid. It has always bugged me. It's one of those, the other thing that,
you know,
go ahead.
If the car can't sell on its own without tax credits and everything, and like you said, it's been going on for a number of years with the electric car. They're trying to get people to buy.
Yeah, it's
just, you know, I disagree with it. If
Yeah.
the car can't stand on its own, sell on its own.
Well, eventually they will. Eventually those tax credits will disappear when they're all over the place. But it's just now it's just they're trying to incentivize the movement toward electric cars. They've done that before with other things. But I just, to me, the whole notion of the person being paid to build it, getting a discount, while the rest of us have to pay the freight, has always...
I could tell you even one better yet too about that, Art, because I am a former auto employee, and I was going out to purchase a new vehicle, and it wasn't the brand that I worked for, but we built parts for the competitor cars. Got a discount because I was a supplier.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, at one time, many years ago, I got a supplier discount because they advertised with the radio station, so we were a supplier. Well, all right. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I don't turn down discounts. I understand that, but the notion that that you get a discount on something you're paid to build while everybody else has to pay full price just always bugged me.
I was getting ready to retire, and I couldn't sign my papers today because the gal that I needed to see was not there, and so I had to come in the next day to sign my papers.
So you still qualified.
The day before, qualified. If I had signed the papers, I would not have qualified for it because I was retired.
Yeah. Oh well, I got you. I appreciate it.
All right, you have a good day.
You too, Ed. Thanks. Let's go on and talk to Greg in Bay City. Greg, good morning to you. Greg, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Lewis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. I would just switch gears here, no pun intended. But I was just curious on your thoughts about the Texas and the Supreme Court decision about the abortion.
That's on my list, I'll tell you. Well, I have to tell you, as someone who does not favor abortion, particularly for birth control, and I have some comments about that. I favor abortion if the life of the mother, rape, and incest. Those are my qualifications. So as far as the Texas law goes in terms of when there's a fetal heartbeat, I don't object to that. However, what I do object to is the way they structured it as a vigilante system where all of a sudden now neighbor's going to turn on neighbor and sue everybody in sight. I don't think that's a good system.
That's a problem there.
That's a problem. I don't see that as a good system. And I don't think the Supreme Court's done with it yet. Now, the Supreme Court could issue a stay, which puts it all in limbo. But the reality is the Supreme Court is going to tackle, I think it's the Mississippi law that's going to bring Roe v. Wade into focus. And I'm not sure what the Supreme Court is going to do. I will tell you this. I don't believe it'll be a 6-3 vote to reverse Roe v. Wade. If the court were to reverse Roe v. Wade, I would bet the best it would be 5-4. And I'm not sure they're going to get 5-4 to reverse it because a couple of the recently appointed justices are very much into precedent and not reversing precedent. And I don't know that they would actually reverse it. They may tighten it, but I don't think they'll reverse it. That's a gut feeling. But that's when I looked at the Texas law, all I could see was vigilante. And I read a couple of articles today that are agreeing with that, saying it's a vigilante system. I don't favor that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what I was heard from, I don't know, it was some person on television, they said about if Roe v. Wade was overturned, it would go back to the way it was before Roe v. Wade.
Right, every state would. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So therefore, let each state determine their fate.
Yeah, and it may do that. It may end up that way. It may end up that way, but that would remove, and then the argument from the pro-choice side is that that's exactly what it would do, remove national choice. It would not be the national law of the land, so to speak.
Correct.
And, well, I don't know. Personally, I would not have a problem with it going back to the states. That's fine. Yeah. Every state will have their own decision, but it will, in any case, this is one of the most contentious issues there is. And no matter which way it goes, it will remain contentious and remain in the courts.
Yeah. Well, what I didn't care for when I saw an interview yesterday with a medical person, I don't know if she was a doctor or whatever. She says if you talk to somebody before 73, the gruesome stories and everything that they've had.
Yep, that's true.
But if you ever listen to how an abortion is the procedure, it's the most gruesome thing you ever hear.
Yeah. Now, here's the other side of this. This one really sort of got me yesterday. There was a woman on television. I don't know who she was, but she was, I don't know if she's from Texas or where she was from. She said something that really triggered me. She said, we should have a choice as to when we're going to have a baby or not have a baby. And my immediate reaction was, you already have that choice. Don't have sex. If you have sex, you're going to have a baby. You know, and it really.
Hello. It's not like you wake up one day with a cold.
No, exactly. You know, in order to get that baby, you had to do something. You know, so don't do it or protect yourself. You know, one way or the other.
The discipline nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I heard one. I have to tell. This one really got me. It was a Catholic female who said she wouldn't use birth control because the church teaches against it. But she's pro-choice. Wait a minute. How can you do that? You can't do that, you know?
That's talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Yeah, you might say that. Yeah, you might say that. Oh, well, anyway, it's an issue we'll have to watch. I think come this fall, the court's going to hear the Mississippi case, and they're expecting to make a decision sometime in 2022. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. In the meantime, the Wild West has returned to Texas. So.
Yeah, that's true. No, just to change the subject real quick, but I think it was last week that they had these automated vehicles or these self-driving vehicles. They had another problem that
Tesla hit
ran into the back of a patrol car.
Right. Yeah, it was a Tesla.
And I worked for a company in trucking, and we would do ditching and stuff. And when we used the old transit and stuff, we had never had a problem because we set grade state.
Mm-hmm.
Transferred into this laser where you would put the detector on the bucket of the equipment of the excavator, and then you set up the laser to say if you're on grade or not. It would beep, beep, beep when you hit the right.
Right.
Well, after we transferred to that, we had to take our strobe lights off. We couldn't.
Yeah, they affected it.
Run the beacons, right?
Yeah. Well,
so I'm wondering if maybe that's the case.
I don't know if maybe the revolving red lights affect it. I don't know. It's possible. They're going to look at it though. All right, got to run, Greg. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the call.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
You better have a good one. Bye now. Lines open for you. Give us a call on this open line edition of the Art Lewis Show.
It's me, the number 3, with some exciting Michigan lottery news. I guarantee you're going to love. It's tripler time.
3 cheers for Club Keno players. At a time, it's tripler time.
Love it.
Random tickets will print with a doubler or tripler message. If it appears on your winning ticket, your Club Keno and extra prizes will be doubled or tripled.
Would you mind repeating that last part?
Or tripled.
Sweet.
So the fun's as easy as
1, 2, me.
With Club Keno tripler time.
Only from the Michigan Lottery.
Lottery.
Oh, sorry.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-8. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for fur babies. If you think it's been hard being stuck at home for a year, think about 7 years for them, and they deserve to get out and sniff the world too. So grab Daisy, Ranger, or Doodles and hit the road. But be sure to stick your head out the window and look for a Motel 6. And like all pets, Baxter stays free. Hot dog. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
When you're Dairyland Seed Proud, the only thing that delivers more than our corn silage is... Excuse me. Yeah, hi. You don't have to do that anymore. Do what? Use that over-the-top emotional voice to wax poetic about pride and who knows what else. Dairyland Seed has their best lineup of silage corn ever, so we can just let the performance do the talking. I don't know what you mean. Dairyland Seed Silage just delivered 200 top 5 finishers for tons per acre, milk per ton, and milk per acre in 2020 university trials combined. Full stop. That's all we need to say. Can we still be Dairyland Seed Proud? Dairyland Seed High DF silage hybrids are designed specifically for better starch and fiber digestibility, higher yields, and more milk per acre. How could you not be proud of that? I guess. But if the numbers do all the talking, what am I supposed to do? The same thing we're all going to do, big guy. Shut up and yield. See how Dairyland Seed High DF silage hybrids bring the yield and the milk at dairylandseed.com.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Art Lewis Show for this Friday. It's an open line day. I'm curious as to what some of my legal friends think about this Texas law that, sets up, in effect, a bounty for citizens to report. And not only you have to understand it really is wide open, because not only can a citizen who suspects someone received an abortion outside of the scope of the law sue the abortion clinic and the doctors involved and anyone in that clinic personally, they can sue the neighbor who drove them there, for example. If a neighbor offered a ride to an individual who was going to get an abortion, a citizen could sue them for at least $10,000. And it comes out of their pocket. It doesn't come out of anybody else's pocket. And, okay, so they're applying this to the abortion law in Texas. What other laws could they apply this to? And all of a sudden, we become a vigilante society. Anytime you don't like something, you sue anyone and everyone involved, and you're guaranteed at least a bounty of $10,000 or more. Could it happen with, clean air? Could it happen with, you name it, anything? It just, we have to separate out the abortion part of the law that says no abortions after a fetal heartbeat, which is typically 6 weeks. That's one part of the law. And then you have to look at the other part, the enforcement. The state has created the law, but they abdicate their responsibility to enforce the law. They place that on the citizens. And that's the part that really I don't understand. And again, the Supreme Court issued their ruling in allowing it to stand for now. They could come back and issue a stay on that order. I don't know if they will or not, but they are going to take up a Mississippi, I think it's a Mississippi law that will bring them closer to determining Roe v. Wade after all of these years. And again, I'm not sure they'll reverse Roe v. Wade. Maybe they'll modify it. I don't know, but there's no guarantees the way the court is voting. Bill is in Hemlock. Bill, good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes, America, there was this one preacher said, "Goddamn America, not bless America." He was right. We're becoming a Sodom and Gomorrah with abortions, legal prostitution, gambling, the way young girls dress nowadays. That's
well, the real troublesome
80.
the real
And I see it the same way as a preacher.
the real troublesome part is that we as a society, that is the American society, are moving away from religion, particularly organized
Yes,
religion.
we are.
Particularly organized
That's
religion.
why we're having
So-
so much trouble with other religions like 9/11 because they don't believe the way we live.
yeah.
Maybe they're right.
No, I doubt that. It's
Look
you know,
at the way
it's.
their women dress and everything. Look at the way their women dress.
But you think that's right? You think
You
the
don't
way they
know
treat
anything.
women is right? I don't.
I don't either. No.
So I mean, you know, I their reasons are other than that. They and these conflicts over in the Middle East are thousands of years old. I mean, you know, who are we to think
Right.
we're going to go in there
And-
and fix it? We're not.
I'm glad we finally got out of there. And
I'm glad we got out. I'm not glad about the way we did it, but I'm glad we got out.
no, I'm not either. But somebody said Joe, the president, has got all these lives on his hands, and now hasn't the Bushes. It hasn't ever.
Well, and that's politics, isn't it? You know, that's politics. I mean, I ignore that stuff. I just look at a decision made by someone who can make that decision, in this case, a president. And I just say to myself,
Yeah.
is it a good decision or is it a bad decision? You know,
Yeah.
and
I lived
that's where I
through
leave it.
Korea. I lived through Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. We never learned, do we?
Apparently not. Apparently not. And
Anyway,
particularly Afghanistan. You know, there are two things we should have learned. Should have learned about Vietnam, and we should have learned about Afghanistan. Because
Yeah,
other
that's
countries had been there first and had no success. And what made us think we were going to?
That's right. And that boondoggle at the airport, that was part of the Afghanis army too. They just run.
Oh yeah, they turned. We trained 300. We trained 300,000 cowards. It's one of them. That's
It
what.
doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
That's good.
All right.
All right. Good talking to you.
Same here. Thanks, Dennis. Hang on. We'll get to you right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Greetings. This is Brenda F. Moore, Mayor of the City of Saginaw. I am cordially inviting all of the citizens and churches who would like to participate in our ongoing praying for the city on September the 5th to meet at Porte Park on Michigan. From there, we will walk to the Court Street Bridge and we will begin to pray over our city. The theme for that day is Love is the Answer. Stop the violence. I'm asking everyone to come out. Mothers of victims, fathers of victims, church members, clergy, please come out so that we can begin to continue to pray for our city and lift it up. Thank you. Be blessed. I love you.
Join Forward Convenience Stores this month as it helps fuel the cancer. From now through September 30th, fuel up at one of the specially marked pumps found at all 26 Forward Shell convenience stores. And Forward will donate a penny to the American Cancer Society for every gallon you put in your tank. To find the nearest Forward Shell giving pump near you, visit forwardconvenience.com/ACS. And together we can help families, researchers, caregivers, and survivors in their tireless fight against childhood cancer.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm. Usually the family fun packs run for $35, but at Rocket Grab Plus right now you can get $17.50. The family fun pack comes with 4 passes to the corn maze along with 2 pumpkins. Opening day is on September 11th, so don't wait to snag your deal at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big when you call 8338-ROCKET today. For example, with a $250,000 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, you could get a new low rate under 3%. If your current rate is over 3.75%, by over $100 a month, saving thousands in interest. But you've got to act now, because no one knows how long these low rates will last. So when you need a simple way to get big savings, Rocket can. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Refinance offer assumes a rate of 2.99%, 3.21% APR, 70% loan to value ratio for the cost of 1.75 points. $4,375 due at closing. Monthly payment of $1,052.66. Taxes and insurance not included. Payment will be greater. Rates current as of 7/26/21. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Fly ball left field deep at the fence and looking up, and it's gone. Akil Baddoo opposite field 2-run home run. He homers in back-to-back games.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and we'll get back to our phones. We have Dennis in Saginaw. Dennis, good morning.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing all right.
Just a quick comment. How is this Texas law going to work with HIPAA laws?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess that's an interesting question, because that is HIPAA. I guess what's going to happen is somebody's going to suspect that somebody went to an abortion clinic, and then they're going to file suit and have to prove it in court. I think what's going to happen is you're going to find people staking out some of these abortion clinics and taking notes on who goes in and out.
Well,
but either way, it's
clinics.
Either way, it's
don't
vigilante.
Necessarily do abortion.
No, I understand that, and most of the clinics in Texas right now, anyway, for what I read, are adhering to the new law. In other words, they will not offer abortion services past the 6-week or fetal heart period. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I think that's part of the fallacy of the law. It's a good point.
Yeah,
you know.
I just haven't heard any pundits talking about HIPAA at all in it.
Yeah, well,
seems like that will cause a problem.
Well, it would. I agree with you, and I don't know how someone would know that someone is going to have an abortion unless they were told or unless they follow people. Or I just think it's a bad system. It's a very bad system. But that's the law right now, anyway.
Yep.
And I'm afraid that if this law stands, what it's going to mean around the country, because you're going to see a lot more of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, without question, there'll be a lot more states looking at it and saying, okay, we can do that. So, all right. Dennis, good point. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. That is an interesting question. You know, doesn't HIPAA laws, the HIPAA rights, you know, your rights to secure medical information. I mean, even if you go to a doctor, you got to sign a HIPAA release form. So how does an individual who wants to sue everybody in sight for an abortion know that you're having one? I don't have the answer to that. It's another, to me, it's another hole in the law. I don't know. And again, I'm curious if there are some lawyers out there, what lawyers think of this. All right, let's talk to Mark in Saginaw Township. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
All right.
Good. Hey, listen, I had a comment, and then I'd like you to respond if that's okay.
Sure.
At the time of someone's death, it is scientifically reasonable that if there's no brain activity or heart activity, that person, after attempts to revive, will be declared deceased, right?
Yeah.
Well, if there's a living, growing organism in a woman's womb that has brain activity and a heartbeat, why wouldn't the reverse be true, that there is life?
Because the court said so.
I know, but
well, but that's the answer.
I mean,
till the Supreme Court changes that, the court has determined that it's not life. Now, you and I look at it differently, but the court has said, the Supreme Court said in Roe v. Wade, that that's not life. Life begins at birth, not at inception. So, we can, you can, it's apples and oranges. Yes, a person who ceases to have brain function and heart function is declared dead. But the court has said that's not a person. So there you are. I mean, that's where it's at.
Well,
that's what Roe v. Wade is all about.
okay, but I was trying to look at it from the other side's point of view because they like to stick with science and stuff like that. So are they sticking with that science for convenience or?
No, they don't view the fetus as a life. So
Right.
so they don't look at it that way. They don't view the fetus as a life.
Even though it has brain activity and
Doesn't matter. The court said no.
Wow.
So that's where it's
Okay.
at. That's
Well,
why Roe v. Wade is so important.
Right.
It's the key. All right. Good enough.
That's why I can't wrap my head around their argument, I guess.
Yeah, well, I understand that. And I think people who are pro-life would agree with you. So,
Okay.
all right, Mark.
Well, listen, thanks for the opportunity.
You
Have a
bet.
good
Thanks
day.
for calling. Bye-bye now. Last caller this hour is going to be Craig in Midland. Craig, good morning.
Hey, Art, going back to your caller that mentioned HIPAA rules.
Yeah.
Would the HIPAA rules also apply to requesting medical information, say, to go into a restaurant or something like that? Say, maybe if you had a immunization?
No. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I've thought about that, but no, they don't, and I'll tell you why they don't. Because you don't have to go into that.
Not convenient.
Well, but you don't have to go into that restaurant. If you don't want to tell them, then you don't have to go in that restaurant. It's a private business.
But so
here's the thing, Craig. If you go to a restaurant in New York City and they say, prove you're vaccinated, and you show them your vaccination card, you have voluntarily waived your HIPAA rights.
Right.
Because you don't have to go to that restaurant. You don't have to tell them.
But the state says that the restaurant must do that for
Yeah.
me to go in.
Right, but the state doesn't say you have to go there.
But the state is restricting my access to restaurants.
Yeah, they
because I
are.
have a vaccination.
Yeah, they are.
So when the state decides that people of a certain religious order, is that allowable?
No, that would be restriction of religion or your impedance to your right to religion. That's a constitutional guarantee.
Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, if I have a medical condition that says I can't get this immunization, you're restricting my rights based on my
absolutely.
on medical condition protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
You can go on forever, and it isn't going to change anything. I appreciate it. Hey, I got to run. I'm out of time here, Craig. Right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Take care.
The Art Lewis Show brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, located inside the Point in Saginaw. New to the Point, Cafe 476, your new coffee stop with a bird's eye view, serving espresso, coffee, tea, bubbles, lemonades, smoothies, frozen yogurt, and more. Plus, delicious baked goods made fresh and local. Donuts, pastries, danishes, and food items like their cherry almond chicken salad croissant. Delicious. Like them on Facebook to keep up with them. Again, Cafe 476 in the Point, where M46 and M47 meet off Gratiot in Saginaw. Thank you, Linda Shepard and Pinnacle Realty. We'll be back to close out this hour after these notes.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Hempstead Tops, together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale Saturday at the Soaring Eagle at Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. TNT. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Just my words and ain't no woman like the one I got.
Spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do the thing.
Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, The Temptations, and Four Tops. Tickets on sale Saturday. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Off to the news we go, and we'll talk to you next hour with more open phones.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton. On the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Wendy Gillette in New York. A disappointing employment report from the Labor Department this morning. It shows a big drop in jobs added last month compared to June and July, instead of the projected 700,000. Bankrate.com's Mark Hamrick.
At 235,000, payrolls growth came in well below expectations since last January.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Leisure and hospitality, which had showed enormous gains, was actually unchanged in August. That's after increasing by an average of 350,000 per month over the prior 6 months.
President Biden is expected to address the report within minutes before heading to Louisiana to tour the damage from Hurricane Ida. He's expected to take an aerial tour of the destruction and meet with officials, including Governor John Bell Edwards.
It really pains me to see that people are hurting and their lives are upside down. And I pledge we're going to do everything we can every single day to make things better.
The cleanup is underway after the remnants of Ida brought tornadoes and floods to the Northeast. At least 45 people died, 23 of them in New Jersey. CBS's Mola Lenghi reports from Wayne.
Crews are cleaning up towns torn apart by tornadoes and fixing crumbled roads. Governor Phil Murphy toured the damage in New Jersey.
This is going to take us some time to dig out of. There's no question about it.
The former prosecutor initially directing the Ahmaud Arbery case is facing her own charges. WSB reporter Veronica Waters has the details.
Ex-District Attorney Jackie Johnson has defended her handling of Ahmaud Arbery's fatal shooting, pointing out she recused herself and contending her office was being attacked due to public misconception. A Glenn County grand jury disagrees, alleging she violated her oath by showing favor and affection to former employee Greg McMichael, who called her from the shooting scene seeking her advice.
Jackie, this is Greg. Could you call me as soon as you possibly can? My friend and I have been involved in a shooting.
The second count on the indictment says Johnson obstructed police by directing them not to arrest Travis McMichael, Arbery's shooter.
Health officials say they're worried about the spread of COVID this Labor Day weekend. Dr. Daisy Dodd from Kaiser Permanente.
We're very much concerned. Anytime that you have a gathering, with this for a long time, and we want to have fun. We want to be with our family and friends, but we do have to keep in mind precaution.
And 2 Broadway musicals returned last night, including the show Waitress. The markets are down. This is CBS News.
Indeed helps you hire great people fast. Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Vaccines are not enough, and accurate thermometers are essential for everyone. COVID is once again a major concern, and fever is the key symptom for both the flu and COVID. An accurate thermometer, like the Exergen temporal scanner, is essential to detect fevers early and reliably. Studies have shown that non-contact thermometers are ineffective and therefore dangerous, as they create a false sense of security. Exergen is working with a single focus to ensure that everyone who needs an accurate thermometer and more at Exergen.com.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance bloke stuck dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 63 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. Bay City Police are investigating a shots fired report that occurred yesterday around 1:25 p.m. According to witnesses, people in a black SUV were shooting at a smaller red SUV in the area of 18th and Madison. Police discovered shell casings outside a home at 18th and Fitzhugh. The house also had a broken window. No injuries were reported. Police are asking anyone with information about the incident to call 989-892-8571. Throughout the month of September, Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort and Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel will be hosting open interviews. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
Each Wednesday this month from 1 to 4 p.m., the Casino Group invites job seekers to bring their resumes and identification to apply for a number of full-time and part-time positions, including line cook, waitstaff, bartender, and more. Since this past spring, Saginaw has offered a minimum of $15 an hour for non-tipped positions and $8 per hour for tipped positions, as well as health and dental insurance and other benefits to all full-time employees. Interviews will be held at the hotel with positions available. On available positions ahead of an interview session, you can visit the employment tab at sagchip.org. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Saginaw Mayor Brenda Moore is inviting local pastors and community members to join her at Porte Park Sunday at 2 p.m. for a time of prayer for the city of Saginaw. Moore has partnered with Bishop Larry Camel of New Birth Missionary Baptist Cathedral to organize the event. The mayor says she believes in the power of prayer and thinks it's a crucial element in fighting violence and other issues in Saginaw. She says everyone is invited and encouraged to bring a lawn chair to the event. Portrait Park is located at 110 North Michigan Avenue, across from the Saginaw County Courthouse. WSGW News Time 10:07.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big when you call 8338-ROCKET today. $250,000 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, you could get a new low rate under 3%. If your current rate is over 3.75%, you could lower your payment by over $100 a month, saving thousands in interest. But you've got to act now, because no one knows how long these low rates will last. So when you need a simple way to get big savings, Rocket can. Call us today at 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Refinance offer assumes a rate of 2.99%, 3.21% APR, 70% loan to value ratio for the cost of 1.75 points. $4,375 due at closing. Monthly payment of $1,052.66. Taxes and insurance not included. Payment will be greater. Rates current as of 7/26/21. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. The search is on for a man who attempted to abduct a 17-year-old girl outside Saugatuck High School on Thursday morning. The Allegan County Sheriff's Office says the girl said she went into her car when a man came up behind her, grabbed her, and tried to pull her out. She was able to get back in the car and started kicking him, and he left in a beige SUV, possibly a mid-2000s Cadillac Escalade. He's described as white with short blonde hair. Despite a rise in cases of the coronavirus across the state, the Detroit Regional Chamber will hold the annual Mackinac Policy Conference later this month with hundreds of community, business, and government leaders on Mackinac Island. Conference Chair Wright Lassiter from Henry Ford Hospital feels reasonably good about where the cases are.
We're hopeful that the continuing vaccination of the state will be helpful, but we also know that the return to schools is a challenge that we'll have to keep our eye on because many of the Michiganders returning to school are below the age of getting vaccinations. So that's a concern, a potential risk for us.
Organizers are limiting the number of people who will be allowed in rooms and have moved some activities outside. All participants are required to be vaccinated and masks will be encouraged. The theme this year is Reimagining a Healthy Michigan. The school district in Western Michigan is offering a large bonus to new bus drivers. It's one of the most lucrative sweeteners among districts desperate to get people behind the wheel. Mona Shores in Muskegon County says new drivers would get an extra $2,500 after 90 days. The district is also offering a $500 finder's fee to employees who recommend a successful hire. Lansing is offering unlimited public bus passes or monthly $25 gas cards to families. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with a high into the winds out of the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy sky conditions. We'll see a low near 59. Saturday, partial sunshine develops a high of 78 degrees. Then by Sunday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 80. Labor Day Monday, we'll see some sunshine, a high of 77. Tuesday, a chance for rain showers here. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops. We'll see high around 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 61.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for a Thursday morning, brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your commercial and residential real estate needs, give her a call, 989-295-7713. Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. Open phones this hour, whatever you'd like to chat about. Our numbers are 752-6111. in the Saginaw Bay City area. Inside the state of Michigan, 866-790 WSGW. Outside the state, 989-752-6111. We'll hook you up with us. And whatever's on your mind, it's always fun to do that and talk about a variety of topics. I've got a couple I want to bring up this morning. We've already talked about the Texas abortion law. We did that last hour. GM, and this continues. Every day there's new headlines. This one came out of the Detroit Free Press. GM to halt production at nearly all North America assembly plants due to a chip problem. The exception, as I understand it, I think Flint Truck Assembly is going to operate for another week. They have enough parts on hand, apparently, to operate for another week. You know, this should be an eye-opener as to how dependent we have become on others to do what we need to do for ourselves. Why are we so dependent on foreign companies to produce these chips we need, which are the lifeblood of the automobile today? Why are we not producing them here in plants in the United States? Well, I could tell you the reason. I mean, the reason is it was cheaper to buy them overseas. Well, guess what? Here we are. And it's not just the United States. I mean, this is a worldwide problem, and I understand that. But we have the ability to solve it for ourselves. We have the ability, we have the technology, we have the know-how, we have the manpower to produce these chips. And we have companies right here in our own neighborhood that can produce the raw materials. So I again have to ask, why are we not building plants to produce these chips? Why is the auto industry so hesitant? Why outsource it? Build it yourself and then you have your own supply. We wouldn't be in this debacle we're in right now. Have you driven around and looked at dealers' lots? Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. And of course, it's done wonders for the used car market, because if you're looking to sell a vehicle or trade a vehicle, you're going to get a lot more money for it. But what are you going to buy to replace it? Unless you're moving up in used cars, but even then, you're going to pay the higher price for the new used car you're going to buy. So you're not really getting ahead. The only people that are getting ahead are people that are getting out of the automobile and don't want to use it anymore, and they're just selling it. Or people that have multiple vehicles and can afford to sell one, put the money away until prices stabilize and come down, and then go out and buy a new car. But again, it just points out, and it's not just these chips that we're dependent on. I mean, you know, during the pandemic, didn't we find out how dependent we are on China for raw materials for our drugs? When are we going to learn? Cheap is not always better. And you know, we are the ones, along with the fair trade agreements, which were the free trade agreements, which were never fair. We drive all of this because we demand lower prices. We want to buy the cheapest thing on the shelf. It's not always the best. It's certainly not made here. But we want to buy cheap. So what do you do? Jim is in Wheeler, so let's start our phone procession this morning. Jim, good morning.
Yeah, I want to go back to that abortion thing.
Sure.
You know, and they say that that a baby in the womb is not a living thing. Well, let me put it to you like this, Art, and I've seen it done more times than not, that if I was a drunk driver and I killed a woman that was pregnant, I'm going to jail for killing two people.
Yep. Yeah, there is a conflict. There is a conflict. There is a conflict there for sure.
This certainly is hypocritical. But at the same time, to get back to your China thing, my personal opinion about China is we need to shut China right off in the world.
Well, you can't do that.
We shouldn't. Well,
you can't do it unilaterally. Unilaterally, we can't do it.
We can't. Well, but we're a big trading partner with China.
Yeah, they need us,
and they put it to us every day. And look what they're doing in the South China Sea. I was and I talked to a man that was from the Philippines, and they are Filipino fishermen from fishing in the South China Sea. They're running them off, and that's what these people do for a living. So they've got some nasty ideas going here with old Joe in the office whilst he's sleeping. That's all I got to say, Art. Have a good one.
All right, Jim. Thanks. Bye-bye now. All right, line's open for you. You can give us a call. This China thing is, I'm afraid to say it's going to get worse before it gets better, because China's really flexing their muscles and trying to become, they want to take over as top dog economically in the world. And they're certainly flexing their muscles, no two ways about it. Meantime, we sit here and, you know, it has always upset me that that we can't see the fallacy in our desire to buy everything cheap. Everything cheap. We don't buy value, we buy cheap. And cheap is what you get. Even if it's a good product. Because it's easy to say, oh, they build junk over there. Well, now the reality is China's manufacturing processes, they turn out pretty good products because we buy a lot of them and use a lot of them in this country. But they're cheaper. Their labor is cheaper. Everything's cheaper about it. So it's not the product itself. It's what it does to the country on dependency. That's the problem. All right, we're going to take a quick break. At the end of this break, we'll hear from Terry Henney, who's at the Bean Festival today. And when we come back, we'll get to Paul in Saginaw and Jim and Gary in Bridgeport. All of that ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
It's me, the number 3, with some exciting Michigan lottery news I guarantee you're going to love. It's tripler time.
3 cheers for Club Keno players. Because for a limited time, it's tripler time.
Love it.
Random tickets will print with a doubler or tripler message. If it appears on your winning ticket, your Club Keno and extra prizes will be doubled or tripled.
Would you mind repeating that last part?
Or tripled.
Sweet.
So the fun's as easy as
1, 2, me.
with Club Keno tripler time.
Only from the Michigan Lottery 3.
Lottery.
Oh, sorry.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Ready for an oil change? Visit the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need. Right now, get 5 parts of Mobil 1 full synthetic $8.95 and earn double O rewards points with your purchase. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. On sale now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
We learned about August hiring at the bottom of the hour. That's when the Labor Department reports on non-farm payroll. Economists, 28,000 workers got jobs. That would be less than the July hiring total of 943,000. This will be a test of how the Delta COVID variant affected the jobs market. Meanwhile, economists believe that the unemployment rate fell to 5.2% last month. The heads of 2 of the most popular dating apps are creating funds to help their Texas workers cope with the state's new abortion law. The law bans abortions after there's a fetal heartbeat after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. Match and Bumble will provide money to help employees get abortions out of state. Both those companies are. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Roger Stern, invested in you.
This year, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is honoring heroes with 200 mortgage-free homes, a never-forget walk, more than 500 miles through 6 states in 42 days, culminating at Ground Zero on 9/11. Tower of Light tributes, names of those lost to 9/11 illness, are being read on September 12th. And names of all lost in the War on Terror are being read on Veterans Day. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
J&B Boots, located in Saginaw, is Michigan's home for American-made boots. With the largest selection in Michigan for work, hunting, western, and more. Visit him on Gratiot in Saginaw, now offering clothing for men, women, and including FR. J&B has your boots.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Dave Thomas of Bowhunter Planet, then Jason Wolverton from the Forward Corporation. In hour number 2, it's Rob Miller talking about tracking dogs, and Adam Bump from the DNR on the fall turkey season. In hour number 3, Chad Stewart talks about whitetail hunting in Michigan, and Matt Poet of Jay's Sporting Goods on their Listen Sunday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 W.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Terry Henney broadcasting from Fairgrove in Michigan's Thumb. It is that time of the year, time to celebrate with the entire family. And the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union invite you to stop by and at least make it a day, maybe 2 or even 3, for the annual Michigan Bean Festival this weekend through Labor Day in Fairgrove. Lots of things going on, craft shows. There's going to be an auto show. The entertainment tent features country music each and every night. Plenty of things for the kids. Old engine and antique tractor show going on, and of course lots of food and plenty of free bean soup. This annual event got put on hold last year, as many things did, so this year they've really rolled out the red carpet and a lot of special events going on here in Fairgrove for the Michigan Bean Festival. All the activity begins with a harvest potluck. That's tonight beginning at 6 o'clock, and the carnival opens up as well. Frankenmuth Credit Union invites you to stop on by and enjoy the Michigan Bean Festival in Fairgrove. A lot more coming up.
All right, Terry, we'll be looking for your reports as well as the farm show later on this morning. All right, let's go back to our phones. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning. Paul, good morning.
Yes. Yeah, morning. I agree with the Supreme Court's Texas decision on abortion, including the part to sue, and here's why. It restores some rights to the male and to the father of the baby that the original 73 court took away from the man. At that time, they took away the man's rights to the baby and gave 100% to the woman, and that was actually what kick-started Women's Live, by taking men's rights away and giving it to the woman.
All right, so wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's separate that law out now. If we look at the Texas law that says you can't have an abortion after fetal heartbeat is detected, which is typically 6 weeks, doesn't that restore the father's rights to some degree? Why do you need to have people suing other people? Why should the public be running around suing as a vigilante group?
Here's why.
I can't wait to hear it.
Here's why. Number one, you're not going to have the woman suing the doctor for the abortion. It's going to be the male, the father of the baby, suing for the abortion, because a lot of fathers of the babies wanted the woman to keep the baby, and they'd even offer to pay for the baby and child support.
I understand that. Understand that, but you've taken the pendulum and swung it way beyond that. Fathers aren't going to be suing. Neighbors are going to be suing neighbors. They're going to be suing the cab driver that drove you to the clinic. That's nonsense.
Well, it all depends on if the cab driver knew that.
Oh, come on now.
Where she's going.
Oh, come on. How are you going to prove that?
I'm not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer.
No, that's absolutely right. I just think the whole system is ridiculous.
Well,
become the Wild West.
Restore some rights back to the men, because the men away from them in that original decision in 73.
Yeah, I got that part of it, but I just don't think this does it. The first part of it with the stopping of abortions after 6 weeks, that does it to a degree. But having other people sue other people just because, I'm sorry, that doesn't do it.
Well, it's a start. It may not be perfect, as you say.
It's far from it.
Always perfect. It's a start, and maybe they can fine-tune it here and there as time goes on. Who knows? But I think restoring some of the men's rights that were taken away from them originally is also a start.
All right, good enough.
That's my opinion.
Fair enough, Paul. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye now. And let's go to Bridgeport, talk to Gary this morning. Gary, good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Morning, Art. I'd like to go back to the chips.
Yep,
conversation
please,
you had.
absolutely.
The manufacturing facility. I understand that they're building one now in Bay City. It's a chips manufacturing facility, and also in Auburn, there's a plastics component that goes with that that's going to be built also.
Well, they're building the one in Auburn. The one in Auburn will supply wafers, and I'm not sure that the one in Bay City is a chip producer per se.
I see. Yeah, that's what I was hearing yesterday. So I just wondered.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
about,
find out about that.
Yeah, I'm sure your resources. Could
But let's be honest. One small plant in Bay City, we're talking about mega plants to build chips for the auto industry. It's just
a start.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's a start. I'm not sure what they build though. We'll have to find out. That's a good question.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to hit on that for a little bit.
Yeah, good. Glad you did.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary. Bye now.
Bye.
So if you know about that, I'm not familiar with it. But Gary thinks there is a chip plant of some kind coming to Bay City. I know there is a plant going in, but I'm not sure what they build or what the components are that they build. And the one in Auburn, my understanding is that they make wafers, the wafers that are used in manufacturing chips. So who knows? I think anyway that the auto industry needs to take the bull by the horns here and build their own plants so that they're self-contained. My personal opinion, that's all. Delmar is in Saginaw. Delmar, good morning.
Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
I'm calling about the abortion bill that got passed in Texas. And personally, I'm not for it. I'm not for against it. I think the woman should make her own decision. But there's a lot of things out there that people don't know about the state of Texas because a lot of people don't get the Wall Street Journal and read it every day like I do. But a lot of people out there don't realize that Texas ranks 46th in child hunger. It ranks 44 in school funding. It ranks 43 in maternal mortality. Moms having babies dying. They rank 43. They rank last insuring pregnant women for health care. Last place in clinical care for children. They're in last place for wellness checks for infants. People can look this up if they want. I think it's the Wall Street Journal. They got it a while back. But do they really care about that infant? Or is it just a political ploy?
Well, let's face it. The abortion issue has become a political issue. Has been for a long time.
The whole point is, do they really care about a kid with these statistics?
Yeah, I would think they do, because the political side of it. Well, all right. I guess we also have to ask ourselves, which has always bugged me a little bit, with a state that has that kind of record, why are people flocking there? Why is that where population growth is happening?
Well, I'll tell you quite honestly, more than likely, it's about the climate. Number two, it's about the jobs.
Yeah, possibly.
Because it's got the lowest minimum wage of the 50 states. I didn't tell you that one. Next to Mississippi. But Mississippi is the next state that's coming out with all these tighter abortion laws.
Yeah, well, that's...
They're like 49th, 48th in all these positions of fetal mortality and fetal poverty. They rank 49th with all this.
Yep. They're going to be the next one in front of the Supreme Court, too.
Yeah, redlocks have a baby, then they don't want to take care of it,
Yeah, that is a contradiction, isn't it? No doubt about it. All right, Delmar.
Did you get the Wall Street Journal, Art?
I'm sorry?
Did you get the Wall Street Journal?
I read it online.
Well, how about if I subscribe to it and send it to you all the time?
Well, I get the same. It's the same stories online. You can pay for it online. You can subscribe. You can subscribe to it online. You get the same stories. Anyway,
go ahead, Art.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Delmar. Have a good one. Bye now. Listen. This has become such a political hot potato. When you dig deep, and Delmar obviously has done his homework, he's dug a little deeper than the average Joe to figure it out. You find out there are contradictions in all of this. Lots of contradictions. The state says we're going to ban abortions after 6 weeks. because we view it to be a viable human. Yet, as the numbers show, when that human is born, that caring doesn't seem to be there as much because of the way they treat people. That's human nature, isn't it? Human nature. Listen, the reality is, no matter what the Supreme Court does with Roe v. Wade, this will remain a contentious political issue forever. There will always be the pro-life and pro-choice factions, each trying to solidify their position. And it isn't going to change. If the court were to strike down Roe v. Wade, which I have to be honest, I don't see them doing. They may modify it, but I don't see them striking it down. But if they were to strike it down, and we would go back to the states' rights issues where each state can have their own, you think that would end the issue? Heck no. Start all over again. Start all over again. So I know people are anxiously awaiting the Supreme Court hearing the Mississippi case, which brings them closer to Roe v. Wade. But I'll be honest, I'm not putting a lot of stock in it one way or another. I just don't think it's going to change much. And the battle will continue. All right, let's take a break here. Lines are open for you. Whatever you'd like to talk about. We'll get to Dan in Bay City when we return.
Join Forward Convenience Stores this month as it helps fuel the fight to end childhood cancer. From now through September 30th, fuel up at one of the specially marked pumps found at all 26 Forward Shell convenience stores. And Forward will donate a penny to the American Cancer Society for every gallon you put in your tank. To find the nearest Forward Shell giving pump near you, visit forwardconvenience.com/ACS. And together we can help families, researchers, caregivers, and survivors in their tireless fight against childhood cancer.
Lehman's Green Apple Barn is celebrating their 36th annual Apple Country Craft Show Saturday and Sunday, September 11th and 12th from 10 to 4. Over 45 local vendors will be featuring handmade items. You'll find crafters from woodworking, photography, sewing, doll clothes, holiday and garden decor, fresh baked goods, warm donuts, freshly pressed apple cider, kettle corn, concessions, and more. Check out greenapplebarn.com or visit on Facebook. Stop out to Lehman's Green Apple Barn Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 4. Admission is free.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big when you call 8338-ROCKET today. For example, with a $250,000 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, you could get a new low rate under 3%. If your current rate is over 3.75%, you could lower your payment by over $100 a month, saving thousands in interest. But you've got to act now, because no one knows how long these low rates will last. So when you need a simple way to get big savings, Rocket can. Call us today at 83. Go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Refinance offer assumes a rate of 2.99%, 3.21% APR, 70% loan to value ratio for the cost of 1.75 points. $4,375 due at closing. Monthly payment of $1,052.66. Taxes and insurance not included. Payment will be greater. Rates current as of 7/26/21. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage. deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale Saturday at the Soaring Eagle, at Eagles Landing box offices, or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Just where legendary ain't no woman like the one I got.
Giving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do the things you do, the way you do, oh baby, I need your love.
Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, the Temptations and Four Tops. Tickets on sale Saturday. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Hour number 2 underway on this Friday. And Dan is in Bay County. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
Basically, what I'm calling about is foreign products from China versus USA products.
Yeah.
When I was in sales, and we put on a lot of different information out there and did a lot of demos on a lot of different products. The things are sold, or got feedback from the customers. Then we had this printed up, and we showed customers the differences between these products, how much longer they would last, and the difference in the cost. Just for example, one product that we sold was an abrasive 4.5-inch wheel. Okay, you could buy that wheel that's made in China for about $1 retail at the low retail price if you were buying it through a place that sold a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we were selling our wheel for $2.25. Our wheel would outlast that thing 4 to 1. It would cut your labor costs because it would save 3 extra changes on that. And plus, you can't sue anybody in China for anything that's made over there to try to get any repercussions if somebody gets hurt, because these wheels were very dangerous to use. And that's just one of the things. But we did this with many, many other types of items, steel products being another one. When they melt down their materials, they throw everything in one particular area, and you don't know exactly what you're getting in that steel. And I had one of my guys that did the rolling on this stuff, and he said that we couldn't even.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, now, business may be a little bit different because they may have to look at value because it saves them money. But the average consumer in this country does not look at value. They look at price. Price and value are two different things.
I'll tell you, I taught a lot of customers what they were saving, and I changed over a lot of customers during these times.
But they had business reasons. You understand that, right? They were business people. The average consumer doesn't care about that. The average consumer looks at the price tag. I know that from when we were in the tour business, and one of the reasons we got out of the tour business was people were buying cheap, the bottom price, the cheapest tour they could find. They weren't buying value. Well, they got lesser accommodations. They got cheaper food. They didn't have as good a time, but it didn't matter. They bought price. And that's the consumer in this country today. That's unfortunate.
Let me ask you a question then. Why are prescription drugs, which most of them come from China, over 90% of them, why aren't those so cheap versus the higher price, what they're getting today on drugs?
Because most of them are developed here, and we pay for the developmental costs. We also do something else, and this has always irked me. We pay for the rest of the world to get cheap drugs.
I understand that.
That's why our drugs cost what they cost. You're paying for the developmental
drugs. The quality of the drugs I know for a fact, when one of my relatives was taking some of these things, there's a world of difference between certain drugs that get USA and ones coming from China. If they could still get those, doctor told them don't use those ones from China.
Yep. Well,
I'm just letting you know my experience, because it has not been good on most China products, and that's why I always promoted stuff made in USA.
I fully agree with you.
Like
I fully agree with you. All you have to do is convince the American consumer. Good luck.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've convinced myself, if I got to buy something that costs me a little bit more to get something that's going to last me 3 or 4 times longer, I'm going to get that if I possibly can, because
that's right.
I don't believe it's junk stuff, and they sell a lot
There you
of
go.
junk.
All right. Good enough, Dan. Yeah, I appreciate the call. Appreciate the insight. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Alvin in Saginaw before we have to take a break. Alvin, good morning, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, Art? How are you?
It's going well.
Hey, I just wanted to defend Texas. My folks are from Texas, and I used to go there every summer. You know, what this guy doesn't understand about Texas is that Texas has always had a high influx of people, whether it be border people or non-border people. My mother is bilingual. She's black. She knows how to speak Spanish. It's hard to really control those numbers in real time like it is maybe in like Iowa or Michigan, where we don't have that kind of flux. So to say that it's one of the lower areas in trying to get a hold of those kind of social controls is just not. It's unfair to Texas, because they always have this moving population. They always have, and that's not new to Texas. So when you talk about stuff like being the lowest, you know, there are kids coming from other areas of the country and out of the country that's all. You have to always put that into play. So it's kind of unfair to say they have the lowest of something like that, because it's always a movement. And so, that's an issue, but it's not an issue that can really be gauged in real time like you could in most isolated states.
All right, I'll cut him a little slack.
But that's all I wanted to say about that.
I appreciate it, Alvin. Have a good one, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye now. I've known Alvin a long time and know his background. And he's right. Texas does have issues with the cross-border issues and things of that nature. But, you know, still they put this law in effect, and the parts of it just don't make sense to me. Let's see. We'll take a break, and then we'll go up to West Branch to talk to Craig when we return. After these notes, we'll also hear from Terry Henney.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale Saturday at the Soaring Eagle, at Eagles Landing box offices, or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 20th. Casino.
Just where my ain't no woman like the one I've got.
Spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do the things you do, the way you do, oh baby, I need your love.
Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, the Temptations and Four Tops. Tickets on sale Saturday. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of Extendamax technology, elite genetics, triple herbicide tolerance, flexibility that delivers results, backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. Extendamax is a restricted-use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state.
Channel seedsmen don't just sell soybean seed. You can trust them to understand your fields and place Channel soybean products to perform. With the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, including triple stack Channel Extend Flex soybeans, you can be confident you're getting the excellent weed control you want and high yield potential you need to make the most of the season. for recommendations for your fields. Check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google. Cover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-417-5066. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-417-5066. That's 800-417-5066. 800-417-5066. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Join WSGW this fall for another great season of Michigan Wolverines football. The season kicks off September 4th again. Live at 11 a.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW.
This morning, we've been talking about all the activity going on over in Michigan's Thumb, in Fairgrove, to be specific, because the annual Michigan Bean Festival is going on beginning at 6 o'clock tonight and going all the way through Labor Day Monday. The big parade is going on Monday. Monday is kind of a busy day here in Fairgrove. There's a pancake breakfast. The festival parade begins at 11. And, of course, at noon, it's all the other activities, including the carnival, the craft show, flea market of free bean soup, and lots to eat. There's a chicken barbecue in the entertainment tent also at noon. Bingo at noon. There's an auction in the entertainment tent at 2 o'clock on Labor Day. It's a big festival. It's been going on for well over 70 years, and a lot of folks missed it last year. Here's your opportunity to catch up on some missed time. The Michigan Bean Festival and the Frankenmuth Credit Union invites you to bring the family and enjoy the Bean Festival this Labor Day weekend. A lot more on the Farm Show coming up in a few minutes.
And we'll hear from you next hour, too. Terry Henney, and he's at the Bean Festival here on WSGW. Back to our phones on the Art Lewis Show, and Craig is in West Branch. Craig, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Art.
Morning.
Not in West Branch. I'm from West Branch, and I'm traveling today. I just happen to be close to you on 84 and 35 right now.
All right.
But anyway, wanted to talk about this life and death thing, but I wanted to throw a little different to it. Instead of aborting babies, I want to talk about the euthanasia of us getting up in years.
Aha.
We've been talking about this issue ever since I was in high school, which was many years ago. I guess I'm getting there, and I don't want to be a burden on my family if I get to where I'm terminal, or maybe I lose my. Well, most people think I've lost my senses already, but a lot of people that the Alzheimer's and the dementia, you get so bad, and I know the argument that maybe there's a cure right around. But I think if it was my choice, and I would want to say, look, I get to this point in life, please give me the shot. And I think it's our right to do that.
Well, there are, I think, maybe 2 states in the country where assisted suicide is legal. I think Oregon may be one, or the state of some of the Northwest states, I think. As a general principle across the country, though, it's not legal. And until that changes, that's, you have the right to, you have the right to have someone speak for you medically if you're unable to. But that only has to do with your wants and desires in terms of unusual measures to keep you alive, for example. So
Right.
it's a little bit different. Medical power of attorney. Go ahead.
Right. I understand. I just think that I should have that right, that if I become that bad and I don't want to be a burden to anyone else, that a lot of people are just a burden on everybody.
Well, it was a big issue in the Kevorkian days, but we haven't heard much about it since.
Well, no, we put him in jail and then he died.
Yeah, and what we did hear about, though, were what became known as death panels. Everybody said, well, the new Obama healthcare laws will create these death panels, and people over a certain age won't be able to get care, and they'll decide who lives and dies. And it hasn't quite come true, but that was the last time it was really in the forefront. So
that's okay. Well, I just wanted to say my piece.
Yeah,
and,
glad you did.
Thanks, Art.
Glad you're still around to do it.
Thanks a lot. And if you're in West Branch, you'll probably just mention my name, and they'll probably tell you he's already lost all his senses already.
All right. I'll remember that.
Thanks, Art.
Take care. Bye-bye, Craig. And that opens the lines for you here on WSGW. All right. Anyway, I think these issues will be with us for a long time. They're not going to go away. And no matter what the law is, there will always be controversy about it because it deals with life, human life, and it's a precious thing. A couple of other things we haven't gotten to. This one caught my attention. This one ought to raise some interest. In the defense bill working its way through Congress, you remember Nancy Pelosi, I think, was the one that said, well, we'll vote on it, then we'll read it. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you need to read it first, because tucked into the defense bill was a measure to require all women over the age of 18 to register for the draft. Selective service. And this was a Democrat trying to tuck this female draft into the defense bill. We'll have to wait and see if it stays there. But talk about an issue that will raise the hackles on a lot of people. That's one of them. Although worldwide, it's not that unusual. Israel has been doing it forever. Women are drafted into service. And it can be combat service, it can be administrative service in the military, but they're drafted into the military. Because everybody's required to have 2 years of service or something of that nature. We have never drafted women in this country. That's a topic for a show sometime, I think. We'll have to think about doing that and talking about that, whether or not it's wise to draft women into the military. Personally, in this day and age, I would not object to it. Women have been crying equality now for decades. Okay, you want equality? You got it. If we draft men, we should draft women. Isn't that equality? So we'll have to talk about that on a future show. It's an interesting topic. We'll take our last break, and then we'll be back to finish up with the Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
94.5 The Moose and WSGW invite your business to be a part of our 2021 Mid-Michigan Join local businesses and me, Mike Avery, the entire month of September to highlight your products and services, live virtual tours, giveaways, and guaranteed leads. To have your business listed as a vendor with the Mid-Michigan Outdoor Expo, call 989-776-6508 or reserve a spot at WSGW.com. The 2021 Mid-Michigan Outdoor Expo presented by Jay's Sporting Goods.
All right, that does it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow morning, by the way, at 9 o'clock, Jim Begic from Begic Nursery and Garden Center will be with us as we move toward the latter part of the growing season. What should we be doing now? And it's a good time to seed. We'll talk to him about that tomorrow at 9 o'clock on the Art Lewis Show. Stick around now for news from CBS at the top of the hour and the local report. Following that, we'll have Focus, and today we will focus on the Sanford area 2021 Founders Day. All of that coming up on Focus. That'll be next, right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
On the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A big drop in new jobs.
I was very fortunate in interviews, but then just crickets.
Rosanna Madrigal has been looking ever since her position with the Census Bureau ran out last year. But new jobs last month were hard to come by. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Job creation decelerated dramatically in August as the variant of the COVID virus reared its ugly head across the country. Just 235,000 jobs were created during the month. There were expectations for more than 700,000.
Some sectors like restaurants and retail still say they can't find people to work. Unemployment fell in August to 5.2% from 5.4% the month before. President
Well, I know some wanted to see a larger number today, and so did I. What we've seen this year is a continued growth, month after month, in job creation.
Mr. Biden leaves for Louisiana soon to survey the damage from Hurricane Ida. Correspondent Weijia Jiang is at the White House.
He says what we are seeing play out on both coasts, the east and the west, with the hurricane and the wildfires, is just another call to action for lawmakers as he is trying to push them to pass those twin infrastructure proposals.
The death toll has just gone up to at least 46 in the powerful storm that caught people by surprise in the Northeast after the remnants of Ida blasted states from Maryland to Maine. New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
Swift water teams were deployed. They're activated. They're on the ground. They're where they needed to be, literally rescuing over 100 people between Rockland County and Westchester the previous night.
Tens of thousands of homes still have no power. Protesters were outside a courthouse in Boston this morning to greet the once powerful ex-Roman Catholic Cardinal Theodore McCarrick. Among them, Ann Barrett Doyle.
A sexually abusive bishop is exceptionally dangerous. His whole leadership is skewed towards protecting his secret.
McCarrick pleaded not guilty a 16-year-old boy at a wedding reception in Massachusetts almost 50 years ago. A lot of people are going ahead with plans to travel this Labor Day weekend despite rising COVID cases. But Condé Nast Travelers' Erin Florio says not many are headed overseas.
For Labor Day, most of us are staying domestic. We're doing a lot of the trends we've been seeing throughout the pandemic, which is a lot of road travel, a lot of staying close to home, a lot of outdoor trips.
The CDC has warned against traveling for people who haven't been vaccinated. The Dow is down 75 points. S&P off 6. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and think for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Powerball is now powered up. This gigantic jackpot game now has new double play, giving you a second drawing with a guaranteed top cash prize of $10 million after each Powerball draw. How about another jolt of fun? A third draw day, now Mondays too. That's double the chances to win 3 times a week. So plug into Powerball. We're talking big. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Saturday's Powerball jackpot, $367 million. Lehman's Green Apple. 36th Annual Apple Country Craft Show, Saturday and Sunday, September 11th and 12th from 10 to 4. Over 45 local vendors will be featuring handmade items. You'll find crafters from woodworking, photography, sewing, doll clothes, holiday and garden decor, fresh baked goods, warm donuts, freshly pressed apple cider, kettle corn, concessions, and more. Check out greenapplebarn.com or visit on Facebook. Stop out to Lehman's Green Apple Barn Saturday and Sunday, September 11th and 12th from 10 to 4. Admission is free.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new bed senses and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our Labor Day weekend special where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery. Ends Labor Day.
Saginaw Valley State University football is on WSGW.
Now throws it over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley.
SVSU football returns on 100.5 News Radio WSGW. Join us Saturday night at 6:30 when the Cardinals kick off the season at home against Texas A&M Kingsville on 100.5 FM. SVSU football is brought to you by Credit Union and Forward Energy.
Saginaw Valley State University football is on WSGW. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 65 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. An elderly woman was spared losing money in a phone scam thanks to the quick actions of the Saginaw Township Police Department. The daughter of the woman called police yesterday after learning her mother had sent money via UPS to an address in New York. Caller misled the woman into thinking she was her daughter and that she was arrested after a traffic crash. Shortly after, a man called pretending to be a lawyer, convincing her to send money. Police immediately called the UPS facility on McCarty Road and was able to stop the shipment from being sent out, returning the money to the woman. Police encourage families to have a discussion about these types of scams, reminding residents that legitimate businesses and agencies do not request money over the phone or to be mailed out. Midland County Habitat for Humanity is building new multifamily homes on Isabella Road in the city of Midland between Huntley Lane and Shimore Drive. Here's WSGW's Ann Williams.
Two condo-style units are under construction for a total of 4 homes. Midland County Habitat has previously built only single-family homes, but decided to diversify this time after a housing study done in 2018 indicated a need for other options. Support for the project comes from the Herbert H. and Grace A. Dow Foundation, DuPont, Thrivent, the Midland Area Community Foundation, and the Charles J. Strosacker Foundation. Those interested in learning about the homeownership process through Midland County Habitat for Humanity can visit walk-in informational booths in their ReStore, located at 1703 South Saginaw Road in Midland. They'll be open September 17th and September 30th from 4:30 to 6. There will also be an informational booth at the Midland Farmers Market at the Dow Diamond East parking lot on September 8th and 22nd from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can also complete an inquiry form on the Midland Habitat for Humanity website, pick one up at the Restore, or call their office. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The merger of two Michigan healthcare giants is one step closer. Officials with Beaumont and Spectrum Health have signed a formal integration agreement. It defines their joint goals, including improving the patient experience, quality, and equity in care, and lowering costs. Spectrum Health President and CEO Tina Fries says she looks forward to working with their teams to make healthcare and coverage more accessible, affordable, equitable, and exceptional for Michiganders. The community turned out in a big way last night in Taylor to show support for the Little League champs. Here's John Hewitt with this report.
A welcome home parade celebration here at Taylor's Heritage Park that drew thousands. Head coach Rich Thorning says this is storybook stuff to be sure.
You don't have time to think about it while you're in there, while the games are over and you win a game, because you're planning for the next game. But on the way home that night is when you realize like what you've just done, and with what these boys have just done and what our city just accomplished and our Little League just accomplished. And it's a very emotional moment.
Second baseman Gavin Mullet. A team approach is what led to the title.
It's not really about one person on the team. It's not about me. It's not about the person next to me. It's about the team. And this team is just great. We play great together, and knowing all the support we have, it's just great being here right now.
A 49-year-old man from Minnesota was killed in an industrial crane accident in the Upper Peninsula's Iron County. It happened at the hydroelectric dam in Mastodon Township when workers were moving a bulkhead into place with a crane when the boom of the crane snapped off, hitting a worker standing on the ground. Neil Bozer of Hillman, Minnesota, was killed in the accident on Tuesday. MIOSHA is investigating the incident. EW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with a high into the mid-70s. Winds out of the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy sky conditions. We'll see a low near 59. Saturday, partial sunshine develops a high of 78 degrees. Then by Sunday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 80. Labor Day Monday, we'll see some sunshine, a high of 77. Tuesday, a chance for rain showers here. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops. We'll see high around 8. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 65.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. Coming up, not this weekend, but the next weekend, It's going to be Sanford Area 2021 Founders Day. We're going to find out more about that this morning as we say good morning to the president of the Sanford Historical Society, and he is Charles Dinsmore. Charles, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing all right. Thanks for joining us this morning. Do you have somebody with you?
Yeah, Nick Kramer. I volunteer on Founders Day to do some of our publicity and sign hanging and getting ready for the event with Chuck and other people, of course.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the concept of Founders Day. How long has it been going on? Let's start with that.
We've been doing it for probably 35 or 40 years, and it started out smaller, and then it's grown. Last year we couldn't have it because of COVID, but we figure thousands literally of people attend, and the town population here in the little town is probably about 900 or maybe 1,000 today. And it swells up pretty good on the weekend.
So you're going to have all these folks coming into Sanford. I guess the obvious question that's going to be asked, how has Sanford recovered from the flood?
Well, I it's still a work in progress, but the Village Park, which was pretty much decimated, there's still some other sites being staged there, and I guess going off to a landfill. But it's looking a lot better. They used to have big piles of dirt down there, Dave, but that's been leveled pretty much. But there's a lot of work to do, and they have a master plan that they're going to proceed on once the remediation stuff is done. And actually, Sanford got a new park called Porte Park, which is south of the rail trail. Today, it's mostly just a grassy area, but last Christmas was quite a sight. The community put a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
He walked in there; it was quite nice. You could drive through it, and so that's going to I believe that's going to become a bigger event for Sanford in the future.
And we'll talk about some of the events. But Charles, let me ask you about Sanford and its history. It's Founders Day. Can you trace the founders back? Do you know who they were?
Charles Sanford?
No.
Yeah, it was Charles Sanford. Was
Charles
the original founder, and it was founded in 1870, and so that's why the Centennial Museum, because it was 100 years for the foundation of the town that the Founders Day actually started. And then there was a small period where there was not much held at the museum, but like Nick said, probably well, for us, we've been doing it about 30 years, and it was going well before that. So we had our sister centennial last year with our 150th year for the foundation of Sanford. So for 50 years, and we celebrated our 50th birthday last year. Even though we couldn't have Founders Day, we did have a birthday party here for the museum.
Right. So. All right, hang on, guys. I got to take a quick break. We'll come back, talk about some of the activities at Founders Day. All ahead here on Focus on WSGW.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale Saturday at Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Just like my generation. Ain't no woman like the one I got.
Spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do the things you do, the way you do. Oh, baby, I need your love.
Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, the Temptations and Four Tops. Tickets on sale Saturday. Casino.com.
while you're comfortable inside your home or business. The weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
J&B Boots, located in Saginaw, is Michigan's home for American-made boots. With the largest selection in Michigan for work, hunt. Visit him on Gratiot in Saginaw. Now offering clothing for men, women, and including FR. J&B has your boots.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
The holiday weekend looks like there's going to be a lot of activity going on in Michigan, in particular the Great Lakes Bay region. And one event that's gone on in Michigan's thumb for well over 70 years is the Michigan Bean Festival. And this year, they're back. After taking the year off, the Michigan Bean Festival will resume full activity tonight and going all the way through Monday, Labor Day. It is time to celebrate with the entire family, and the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union invite you to get out and enjoy Michigan at its finest this weekend. And in particular, if you're over toward Michigan's thumb, make Fairgrove a stop. You'll really enjoy it. There's a carnival, there's craft show, there's old engine and antique tractor shows, demo derbies, kids game, bingo. There's a cornhole tourney going on here in Fairgrove this weekend. If you'd like more information on it, all you've got to do is go to MichiganBeanFestival.com and take a look at all the scheduling. Lots of food and plenty of free bean soup at the Michigan Bean Festival all the way through Labor Day. More coming up next hour.
All right, Terry, we'll be looking for it coming up on the Farm Show here on WSGW. We're talking to Charles Dinsmore. He's the president of the Sanford Historical Society and Founders Day volunteer, Nick Kramer, about the activities going on coming up the weekend of the 11th and 12th. So, Nick, give us an idea of some of the things that are happening in Sanford during Founders Day.
Okay, Dave. I'll try not to repeat myself, but on Saturday all day, there's a craft show in Porte Park. That's south of the rail trail, downtown Sanford. From 1 to 3, we've got a firefighting equipment. The Jerome Fire Department comes out and demonstrates the fire trucks and some of the equipment for the kids and the gear. From 2:30 to 5:30 on Saturday, we've got ourselves a classic car show. It's in downtown Sanford along the street. And one of the big events is a 12 noon parade that runs through downtown Sanford. It's not a long parade, but it's a pretty big one, and lots of free candy being thrown out. We didn't do it last year because of COVID and the flood, but we're back bigger and better, so to speak. 7:30 to 9:30 on Saturday, we've got a pancake and sausage breakfast. That starts at 7:30, ends at about 9:30, and then 10. Most of the events start at 10 or noon, depending on what they are. But we have just reading down here, a small animal petting zoo by Grandma's Pumpkin Patch, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners have been there. Well, anyway, here to come here and help. We're going to have kids workshop with Home Depot. We've got a lot of demonstrations. This museum is set up like a small village with genuine antique buildings. We have general store, town hall, church, log cabin. Got a train sitting next to an 1897 depot that's been restored. So we have demonstrations of wood carving, corn milling, spinning, blacksmithing. We've got old tractors for the kids to sit on and look at. Miniature steam engines, some working, model trains, and historical displays, and a lot of other nice things. We're going to have face painting and temporary tattoos for the daring. We've got free wood-branded souvenir plaques while they last. We're going to roast a pig. We're going to make locally famous bean soup. We're going to have hot dogs, ice cream, some strawberry shortcake. That starts around noon. We're
Meridian Marching Band, that's the Meridian High School, is going to be here. Coleman Lions, they're going to do children's sight screening. We got a clown show in the Clare Bailey Chapel. Barrel train rides, treasure dig for the kids. Got live music from 2:30 to 4:30 by 9. 3 o'clock, there's a duck race in the river, and the results will be announced at the museum stage. And these events, a lot of them run simultaneously with each other, so there's always something to do.
Yeah.
And many times we see a situation where the parents come with the children not knowing exactly what to expect. And at the end of the day, the kids want to stay longer, and the parents have to go because of other commitments.
Charles,
yeah.
Charles, let me ask, where is the museum located?
Okay, so it's at 2222 North Smith Street in Sanford. You were coming, say, from Midland, you come down Saginaw Road and go over the Tittabawassee River, you're heading west, and it's right there on your right. Right, just as soon as you cross the bridge, it's right there on the corner, and it's a whole complex. It's a nice place. We have activities on Sunday too, Dave. We have free coffee and donuts starting at 8 o'clock for the early birds, last until 10. We've got Sunday morning church service in the 1800s chapel. There's going to be more demonstrations of wood carving. We're going to do those branded plaques. We're going to have lunch, serving pretty much the same thing we did on Saturday with the addition of Sloppy Joe's. Barrel train rides. Dale Hafer is going to do country music, more face painting, and the Lighthouse Body of Christ is going to do some gospel singing in the inside of the Bailey Chapel Church, which has been restored and moved to Sanford. All these buildings have been moved here from their original sites. It's quite an event, and all your listeners, if they've got some spare time on that weekend, jot us down because you're going to have a good time. I've never had anyone say that they didn't.
All right. It's
one of the feature events for both days is free pony rides for the kids. And so there's going to be plenty of capacity in that, and all the kids that come can be guaranteed to get themselves a free pony ride.
All right, so we'll remind everybody that it's the weekend of the 11th and 12th, not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Exactly.
Sanford area 2021 Founders Day with all kinds of activities. In closing, is there a website they can go to get more information?
Exactly. It's www.sanfordhist.org. So once again, Sanford and then .org. And they can people can read more detail about the events and see the museum. The website is actually very nice.
Very good. All right, guys. Good luck with it. Sounds like a fun weekend.
Thanks for having us on the program. We really appreciate it. So
no problem.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you. Thanks for being with us. Bye now. Sanford area 2021 Founders Day. Sounds like a good time next weekend up in Sanford. And a community, I think, that deserves our support after what they went through last year and a half ago. Wow. All right, let's take our last break before we move on to find out what the markets are doing from Baird & Company.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big when you call 8338-ROCKET today. For example, with a $250,000 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, you could get a new low rate under 3%. If your current rate is over 3.75%, you could lower your payment by over $100 a month, saving thousands in interest. But you've got to act now, because no one knows how long these low rates will last. A simple way to get big savings, Rocket can. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Refinance offer assumes a rate of 2.99%, 3.21% APR, 70% loan-to-value ratio for the cost of 1.75 points. $4,375 due at closing. Monthly payment of $1,052.66. Taxes and insurance not included. Payment will be greater. Rates current as of 7/26/21. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
All right, that'll do it for Focus, brought to you by RoofMax today. We thank you for joining us here on WSGW. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day. Steve Anderson is with us on this Friday. Steve, good morning.
Well, good morning to you, and happy Friday, I guess.
Is it a happy Friday?
Well, for people who like Fridays, it certainly is.
How about the market?
The market right now is kind of mixed. Can't decide what it wants. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 60 points, putting it at 35,384 on volume of 244 million shares. The Nasdaq's ahead by 21, 352, and the volume there is 282 million shares.
So as we head into this Labor Day weekend, what's your ticker tip?
My ticker tip is many of the people that I work with talk about their fear of not having sufficient assets to last them for the remainder of their lives after they retire from your primary occupation. And, you know, we can predict the life expectancy for an entire population, but we can't for just one person. So you need to periodically review your expected income needs and analyze your investments to see if they're going to meet that. And it's important to have the underlying value of your investment assets increase so you can get a larger income base to offset inflation in the future. Now, if you don't spend all your earnings, that's one way to build the base. But the risk of outliving your assets can also be mitigated if you invest in vehicles that are designed to outpace inflation, such as they have such things as inflation index CDs or treasury bonds. You can also start looking at equities or preferred stocks or some other instrument. But make sure that you have a good financial plan and proper asset allocation for your individual needs. And then work with your financial advisor to make sure that your assets will live as long as you do.
And how can they get a hold of you to do that?
Well, you can call us right here at Baird & Company in Saginaw. The telephone number is 790-5724.
Have yourself a great weekend, Steve. Talk to you next week.
Thank you. Well, sure will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip of the day. We move over now for the Farm Show with Terry Henney from the Bean Festival. All of that ahead here on WSGW.
For the 14th consecutive season, your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
Touchdown, Michigan.
After a disappointing 2020, the Wolverines look to bounce back and contend for a Big Ten title while proving the professional naysayers wrong.